5 perplexing new types of astronomic entities. Number 5. New type of storm. On a star. NASA's Spitzer and Kepler space telescopes are a potent tag team and have recently observed an unexpected occurrence on a small star, a storm. Only 53 light-years away in the constellation Lyra, a Jupiter, named W1906+40 sports a weird mole-like growth likened to the Jovian red spot. Unlike its similarly sized brown dwarf brethren, W1906+40 is a bona fide star, capable of squishing atoms together to produce its own light. Though just barely that, this tiny stellar object is a relatively chilly 2000 degrees Celsius. W1906+40 is so lukewarm that clouds form and swirl in its atmosphere. These clouds are whipped up by the star's inner fury and have created a dark spot near the North Pole, which astronomers mistook as the equivalent of a sunspot. And while it is not directly visible, researchers inferred its presence by a dip in light that occurs every 9 hours as it whips around. Cloudy conditions are observed on brown dwarfs, but these substellar wannabes are not mighty enough to sustain fusion. Even their storms pale in comparison, the longest enduring no longer than a day. In contrast, the storm on W1906+40 is still going strong after 2 years. Number 4. Mysterious new type of globular cluster. Globular clusters are like stellar popcorn balls, spherical aggregates of thousands of stars. Some are nearly as old as the universe and have traveled hither and thither for billions of years before settling on the outskirts of established galaxies. Our Milky Way is decent but has only about 150 clusters to its name. More massive galaxies bling themselves out with many clusters, and the nearest galactic monster is Centaurus A, an elliptical galaxy 12 million light-years away with 2,000 globular hangers-on. But not all of Centaurus A's clusters make sense. Normally, a cluster's mass is commensurate with its brightness, and the most luminous sources are also the most massive. But in sampling 125 globules from Centaurus A, astronomers found that some smuggle much more mass than we can see, even with our full range of fancy imagers. Researchers offer 2 equally impressive solutions: dark matter or black holes. Globular clusters .ft often contain dark matter, unlike galaxies, but maybe a few have acquired this most mysterious substance through some unknown mechanism. Black holes are also massive enough to produce the observed effect, painting a scary picture of Centaurus as a cosmic minefield with a periphery of gluttonous black holes. Number 3. New UltraBright Supernova. Ohio State University's awesomely acronymed observatory, the All-Sky Automated Survey for Supernovae, recently spotted the most stupidly bright star depth ever observed. In 2015, its twin telescopic arrays Brutus and Cassius logged an unremarkable blotch of light. Later observations revealed an odd light spectrum emanating from said blotch, and eventually, the Southern African Large Telescope confirmed an ultra-bright gas cloud with an unidentified 15-kilometer object at its center. Researchers blame a past supernova, several times stronger than the previous record holder, so violent that it unleashed almost 600 billion suns' worth of fury against the universe, an output that would take our lowly star 10 billion years to match. Assassin 15 LH, as it's known, is so magnificent that it straddles the limit of our scientific understanding. Astronomers can comfortably explain the supernova's strength but have several ideas. Maybe it's the wild death throes of one of the universe's most massive of stars. So few of these elites exist that it's quite possible we simply haven't seen one blow up before. Alternatively, a millisecond magnetar could be to blame. Such objects spin at the astonishing rate of once per millisecond. If able to convert this immense rotational energy almost entirely to light, they could produce such catastrophic outbursts as observed by astronomers. Number 2. New type of star disturbances like stellar music. Astronomers are hunting down the oldest stars in the galaxy, and a newly innovated technique allowed them to pin down an ancient group of stars from the Milky Way's earliest days. A study from the University of Birmingham's School of Physics and Astronomy probed into the hearts of 8 elderly stars residing in the Messier 4 globular cluster, a mere 7,200 light-years away, to capture the music within. The stars are much older, fatter, and redder than the Sun and are bubbling with sound. These resonant acoustic oscillations perturb the stellar matrix and cause tiny but detectable changes in brightness. The newfound ability to measure these oscillations has birthed the field of asteroseismology, or a precise way to run background checks on stars. And, like weight guessers at the state fair, astronomers can now use this technique to ascertain a star's agent mass. The oscillations confirm the theoretical calculations, dating M4 stars at 13 billion years young and establishing them as galactic progenitors. Number 1. New type of star with oxygen atmosphere. Star SDSSJ124043.01 plus 671034.68, is just like any other star, except it requires several huffs to pronounce and, oh yeah, its outer layer is 99.9% oxygen. This seemingly impossible white dwarf star is unique in the compendium of 4.5 million stellar observations, including among its 32,000 confirmed white dwarf brethren. Equally impressive is its discovery. When sniffing for remarkable stars, researchers examine spectral graphs, which give away a star's elemental composition. Unfortunately, oddness is a human concept, so the task cannot be relegated to machines and requires a living eye. Normally, white dwarfs are coated in the lighter, floatier elements produced during the star's life cycle. But Doc somehow relieved itself of its fluffy shroud and acquired a nearly pure oxygen environment, peppered with the smallest pinch of other elements, like neon and magnesium. Researchers have no idea how but speculate that Dox once enjoyed the companionship of a red giant. It pilfered matter, in the form of superhot gas, from its stellar spouse until Dox ate too much, blew its top, and supposedly banished the entire stockpile of lighter material to deep space.